I'm mad because next, even though I'm in the kitchen, but I don't know. Taking back, so let me just.
If that's all it was, the file wouldn't have specified. Not to mention, I didn't find any cuts inside her mouth.
You even checked in there? God, you really are into dead bodies!
No, I'm not into dead bodies. What I'm into is solving mysteries.
But if there wasn't a cut or anything, then what made her vomit blood?
Some sort of reaction within her body. Most likely, Sakura was poisoned.
Poisoned?
That's right. This is the conclusion I've arrived at, and so there can be no mistake.
You're making me go all weak in the knees! She was poisoned? It isn't possible!
Is it really so hard to believe? Then let me explain exactly how the... The culprit was able to poison her.
You can explain it?
Of course, if you don't mind.
Everyone quiet! Shut up and listen to Master!
But you're the only one talking.
The key to unlocking this mystery was hiding in the chem lab up on the 4th floor.
Huh? Not in the rec room? Then I could have found it all along!
You never would have, since you gave up on the search the moment you were barred from the crime scene.
Well, yeah, good point.
There's a big shelving unit in the chem lab that houses a variety of mixtures and chemicals. And that's where I found this.
Is that the poison?
I accidentally turned on PS3.
It's not an especially powerful poison, but it'll still kill you if you drink an entire bottle. But the specific properties don't matter. What does matter is where I found it.
Where'd you find it?
The shelf is divided up into 3 sections, A, B, and C. In Section A, dietary supplements. In B, reagents. And in C, a variety of lethal chemicals.
And that's where the poison came from? Section C?
Well, that's the question, isn't it?
poison was actually in Section A, wasn't it?
You just said that Section A was for supplements or whatever.
Strange, isn't it? Why would there be a bottle of poison mixed in with all those nutritional additives?
Yeah, so? Why?
Because the culprit switched it out. That's why.
What do you mean?
I mean...
We were so shocked. Okay, he's not really treating me bad. He's not treating me bad.
Bubble! You have to drink some water! You can't just swallow powder! It'll stick to your throat!
Idiot! He just swallowed poison! We need to make him spit it out!
The flavor certainly makes me want to spit it out. What's so high quality about this stuff?
Huh? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the protein, of course.
Protein? Can I see that bottle for a second?
Sure. Do whatever you like.
It's protein powder.
Correct. That wasn't poison in the bottle, but harmless protein powder. Which makes one wonder, the poison that should have been in that bottle, where did it go?
The bottle of poison was actually full of protein, which would be not that funny. This one, the poison must have been Was he drinking? I know it's that protein
Now
thing.
I
I knew
understand. The poison must have been poured into the protein can. If the protein's in the poison bottle, it seems only logical to assume the reverse is true, right?
Absolutely. The contents of each container were switched. So the protein was in the bottle of poison, and the poison was in the protein can. Once you accept that, it becomes obvious how the culprit was able to get Sakura to drink the poison.
Holy crap!
All they had to do was hand her something there at the scene, and she was happy to drink the poison herself.
Ooh.
I got it! You're saying they gave her a protein drink, right?
A protein drink which actually contained a deadly poison.
What?
That's all it took to kill Sakura. That is the true cause of death.
You know, I do remember Ogre saying that protein stuff was good for all kinds of aches and pains. So maybe she took it to try and help with the whole bleeding head wound thing.
But what was offered to her instead was a bottle full of poison. And I already know exactly who swapped the mixtures.
For real? Who was it?
Evidence revealing who replaced the two materials was left in the chem lab for anyone to see.
That's the evidence you're talking about, isn't it?
I visited the chem lab this morning, and there were definitely no footprints there at that point. They must have appeared around the time of the murder, which leaves no doubt that they're connected. What's more, the footprints were in front of Section A, where I found the bottle meant for the poison. The culprit must have gone to Section A to swap the poison and protein, leaving their footprints behind. And given how clear the prints were, figuring out who they belong to will pose no problem. All we have to do is check everyone's footprints right now. Then we'll see who...
It was me. The footprints. They're mine.
Hina?
If you're all gonna find out anyway, I'd rather you hear it straight from me, you know?
Ogre's killer was...
Yep. I did it. I killed Sakura.
Just as I suspected. The footprints were made by a pair of sneakers. There was no mistaking it. And the only people here who wear sneakers are...
I got it! Me and Hina are the only ones. Oh, so Byakuya. That explains why you...
If the footprints didn't belong to Makoto, that left only one other possibility.
Just Hina.
Plus, Hina's been acting strange ever since the trial began. You were in an awful rush to get to the vote, weren't you? This whole time, you've been focused on pinning the crime on someone else, haven't you?
I can't believe it.
What about it can't you believe?
Well, it's just... the two of them were so close.
That's likely exactly why it turned out this way. Because they were so close, Sakura didn't think twice about it when Hina handed her the concoction. Hina used that trust to kill her. She deceived the victim, and she tried to deceive all of us. I have to say, Hina, coming from you, this was a particularly nasty little scheme.
Hina, is it true? Did you really kill Sakura? And if you did, why? Why would you do that?
I found her. There in the rec room. She was hurt. She asked me to bring her that protein drink. But when I went to get the powder from the chem lab, it just occurred to me all of a sudden.
Now's my chance to kill her. That's what you thought, right? That's when you switched out the protein powder, and that's when you gave her the poisoned mixture.
And then she downed it. And then...
Hold it. I'm not convinced.
You're not about to claim she wouldn't kill a close friend, are you? You still don't get it, do you? The game we're playing here isn't so kind. Honeyed words like friendship don't matter here. What matters is outwitting the opponent, defeating them. Not a person alive would sacrifice themselves for another. In the end, we're all in it for ourselves. Just like how this girl sacrificed Sakura to save herself.
You say that, but I'm still not convinced.
How many times do you plan to repeat yourself?
Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying it because of some misguided sentimentalism. But there's still that one unsolved mystery, and I'm not convinced.
The locked
Are
door!
you talking about the locked room problem?
Hina, if you really are the killer, explain it. How did you create that locked room?
Well, that doesn't matter. Just because I'm guilty, that means I have to tell you everything?
No, it doesn't. But the fact that you won't tell us concerns me.
Surely you're not... Do you honestly think Hina didn't actually kill her?
And if I do?
Impossible. She switched out the mixtures. She's the culprit. There's no way you can doubt this.
Are you sure about that? Even ignoring the fact that I don't want to believe it, it just doesn't fit.
What doesn't fit?
I mean, why would someone leave such a clear clue like a footprint? It's too obvious, too easy.
He's right. It makes it look like you wanted people to suspect you.
I was just nervous. So, I didn't notice I'd left a footprint.
You didn't notice?
Yeah, that's just how it was. What can I do?
Listen, Hina. Could you go into a bit more detail? Tell us more about when you switched the poison and the protein.
How come? That doesn't matter.
Hina, please, I'd like to know too.
Fine.
Waste your time if you like. It's clear that Hina is the culprit. There's nobody else to suspect. Nobody else could have possibly done it.
Go ahead, Hina. Start from the moment you arrived at the chem lab.
Well, right away I went to Section C and got the poison.
And is that when you spilled the powder in front of that part of the shelf?
Yeah. When I opened the bottle, I dropped it like an idiot.
I see. Okay then, go on.
So then I moved to Section A and got the protein powder, and that's where I switched them. Once I was done with that, I took the protein can that had the poison in it and left the room. But I accidentally put the bottle filled with protein powder back on the wrong shelf. And because of that, everything I did got found out.
That story you just told. First you went to Section C to get the poison. Then moved to Section A to get the protein, right? Meaning you went from Section C to Section A. Do I have that correct?
Yeah.
That's true. Is that a little strange?
Can you repeat that series of events one more time?
What's wrong with you, Big Mac? You're being awfully pushy.
Stop calling
It's
me
the
Big
same thing no matter how many times you hear it. How long until you're satisfied?
Mac. How long? Until we figure it out. Until I uncover the full truth of his face. I'm trying to think. You're a killer now. Darn thing. Stop giving me grief!
First I went to Section C. That's when I grabbed the poison.
And you spilled some of the powder on the...
Yeah. When I...
Okay, and then...
I moved from Section C to Section A. And that's where I switched the powders. Once I was done switching, I put the bottle filled with the protein powder back in Section A. Then I took the bottle with the poison and left the chem lab. That's all there is.
Honestly, that's enough. How much longer must we tolerate this?
Where the footprints and what directions are they facing? Those facts really cover what Marshall's told us.
First I went to Section C. That's when I grabbed the poison.
And you spilled some of the powder...
Yeah. Okay. I moved from Section A, and that's where once I was done switch, I put the bottle filled with the protein powder back in Section A.
Shoot!
First I went to... That's when I grabbed the...
And you spilled some of the...
Yeah.
Okay.
I moved from Section A, and that's where... Once I was done, I put the bottle filled with the... Then I took the bottle with... And left the... That's all there is.
Honestly, that's enough. How much longer must we tolerate this?
First I went to... That's when I grabbed the poison.
And you spilled some of the...
Yeah.
Okay.
And I moved from Section C, and that's where... Once I was done, I put the bottle filled with the protein powder back in Section...
I don't know. YouTube time. YouTube. I haven't used YouTube in a while. Haven't used YouTube in a while. Case 4, I think. Yeah, it's case 4.
Then I took the bot and left the that's all there is.
Honestly, that's enough. How much longer must we tolerate this?
First I went to that's when I grabbed the and you spilled some of the yeah.
Okay.
And then I moved from section C to
No, what's wrong?
I'm glad I figured out this.
You said you went to get the poison from section C. And that's where you spilled the powder, right?
yeah. What about it?
And after that, you said you moved from section C to section A to get the protein. But the footprints left at the scene were not moving from section C to section A. That contradicts what you just said.
What?
Then maybe she moved in some weird direction on purpose to disguise her movements?
No, that can't be it. Remember what Hina just said?
What the? Hina, what's the meaning of this?
Well,
You lied to us. Plain and simple. If you look at the footprints, your movements in the chem lab are obvious. The powder had already been spilled when you came in, and you went straight to section A. So you never went to section C. Whatever you did there, it only involved section A.
well, you see...
What the hell? What's going on here?
And the footprints aren't the only problem with her account. Before I explain that part, I'd like to submit some new evidence.
New evidence? Impossible, there can't be.
Are you sure? After all, you're the one that gave it to me.
I did?
It was hidden inside the bottle of poison you gave me.
Oh, he murdered
I'm
her.
amazed you, of all people, would miss such a vital clue. A truly grave oversight.
Just say it already! What is it you think you found?
I found this. It had sunk to the bottom of the bottle, and the hidden clue was exposed, thanks to you ingesting the powder. I couldn't have solved the mystery without you. So, thank you for that.
But, what is it?
Oh, you still don't realize? Makoto, why don't you explain it?
Huh? Me?
If you really do know, explain the meaning of that shard of glass.
I got it! It's part of the window from the rec room door, right?
Smart. You know I'm still dumb, man.
The window?
The window we broke to get in was light blue, just like that. So I think that must be it.
You're right. It must be. Of course, that leads to another question. How did a shard of glass from the window get inside this bottle of poison?
Huh? Not red. Oh, get up.
What's so strange about that?
What's strange is that, according to what Hina told us, I got it! The bottle of poison was left on the shelf in the chem lab. That is what you said, right, Hina? And yet, somehow a piece of glass from the rec room window made its way into the bottle.
Everything Hina told us was a lie?
In reality, that bottle of poison most definitely found its way to the rec room. It was there at least until the window got broken. In other words, when the locked room was unlocked. There's no other way to explain the presence of that glass in that bottle.
And then, once the room was opened, the bottle somehow got moved back to the shelf in the chem lab. Meanwhile, the protein can we found at the crime scene was planted there. That had to be after the locked room was opened. In other words, after Sakura died.
Wait, hold on. You're moving too fast. I'll grant you, the bottle of poison may well have been in the rec room when it was locked. But how can you say the protein can was put there after the room was unlocked? We already know she was given the protein can with the poison inside, right? If that can wasn't there when she died, how did she get poisoned?
You're right. We do need to explain that. But before we do, there's something I'd like to confirm with everyone here.
Huh?
It has to do with the protein can. After Sakura's body was discovered, did anyone move it or trip over it or anything like that?
What are you talking about? Is this some kind of loaded question?
Not at all. Just answer to the best of your ability.
Well, no, not that I remember.
Yeah, me either.
Not me.
Same here. Yeah, me either.
Okay then, that settles it. That proves that the protein can found its way to the murder scene after the room was opened.
Oh, come on! How can you say that?
Can I finish this real quick? Can I finish this class trial? Yeah. Okay.
How can you know what I don't know?
There's proof that someone brought that protein can to that room after it was
When it comes to that protein can, there's not a doubt in my mind. Until the locked room was unlocked, it absolutely was not in there.
So you're saying someone planted it there after we got the...
No, that's impossible. It had to have been in there the whole time. It had to be. It was in there before.
No, it's wrong.
He's getting caught. He caught.
You remember how there was broken glass scattered all around the room, right?
He thought he was smart.
Of course. It came from the window you broke to get in.
Well, those pieces weren't just scattered around the protein can. We also found pieces underneath the can.
What?
And this proves it. It shows that the can must have been put down on the floor after the window was broken. So it had to be after we got into the room.
I see. So that's your explanation. Kyoko, earlier when you asked if anyone had moved the can or tripped over it...
If that were the case, that would explain the can being on top of the glass.
So you asked everyone about it to eliminate that possibility right out of the gate.
And that's made everything clear, hasn't it? As long as it was a locked room, it only contained the bottle of poison, and not the protein can. But once the room was opened up, they were switched, and as a result, the protein can wound up in the rec room, and the bottle of poison returned to the chem lab.
That's all true, then why did Sakura drink the poison? I thought we all agreed she was tricked into drinking it because of the protein can.
No, that's not why. The only explanation is she drank it from its original bottle, knowing exactly what it was.
Precisely. She was alone in a locked room. All she had was the poison. What other possibility is there?
You're saying she drank it knowing what it was? Such a ridiculous fiction is...
Exactly what happened.
Then tell us already! Sorry. Please, tell us.
Before we get to that, we need to clarify one other thing. We need to establish who exactly got the poison from the chem lab and took it to the rec room.
It was Hina, right? She took it and gave it to Ogre.
What do you think, Makoto?
The one who got the poison from the chem lab brought it to the rec room. There had to be no other.
I got it! I think it was Sakura herself.
Huh? So Sakura, who was apparently murdered, just poisoned herself? What are you talking about? There's no way!
On the contrary, we know for a fact she went to the chem lab, right to the section full of poisons.
You're lying! Stop lying! Why? Why would you lie like that?
It's not a lie. Sakura definitely wants to succeed. They'll always show you that it's me. That's what makes it
You're a liar! What are you saying? Wrong! You're wrong! I'm telling you, I did it! Stop talking! You're a liar! Wrong! You're wrong! Wrong! You're wrong! I hate you! I hate you! You're a liar! What are you saying? Wrong! You're wrong! I'm telling you, I did it! Do you have any kind of proof Sakura took the poison?
This should prove it.
See, I'm always sad that part because I'm fighting.
Hina, did you know that Sakura's foot had a certain yellow powder stuck to it?
It did?
It did. The same yellow powder that had been spilled by the shelf in the chem lab. That powder was yellow, wasn't it? So the powder we found on Sakura, what?
Wait. So, what was that powder doing on Ogre's foot?
And it was only on her instep, right?
Sakura must have been standing right there where the powder was spilled. So the person who spilled the powder by the shelf wasn't Hina, but Sakura. And when Sakura dropped the bottle, she dropped it away from where she was actually standing, which is how she was able to avoid getting it all over herself. But the powder still got scattered around, and some of it must have wound up on her instep. Is there any problem with my thinking?
But why did Sakura pay a visit to Section C in the first place? The only explanation is that she was looking for poison. After all, that's all that section contained.
No! It was me! The poison! Because I killed her!
No, you didn't kill her. Shoot!
Well, that only brings one heart.
Shoot! Shoot!
Oh my gosh, hold up. How did I only get... Wait, does that actually take 2?
Shoot!
What? Not her, not him, not Yeah.
Here's my answer.
She killed herself.
The one who killed Sakura was Sakura herself.
What? The killer was Sakura?
Wait, so you're saying it was suicide?
I don't believe it. I don't believe it any more than I believe I can fly.
I can't believe it either. Or rather, I don't want to believe it. But when you really think about it, everything matches up. Sakura went and got the poison. She barricaded herself in a room, and she drank it. All so she could end her own life. And that explains why we couldn't solve the mystery of the locked room. I got it! The locked room mystery was created by Sakura.
I'm sure she locked herself in so nobody could stop her from doing what she did. She sat there, drank the poison, and breathed her last breath. And the empty bottle of poison rolled around the locked room until we came and opened it. At that point, someone grabbed the bottle and snuck it out of the room. And that was you, wasn't it, Hina? You did it to throw off the investigation, didn't you? When we found her body, you stayed right there near the door. Because you already knew Sakura was dead. And because the bottle of poison had rolled near the doorway.
That's when you picked up the bottle, right? I was too shocked to notice anything. And Kyoko was busy checking the body.
And the more I think about it, the more I realize how unusual your actions were. You said you were going to go get everyone else, but your real intention was to go to the chem lab and switch out the containers, wasn't it? Once you were at the chem lab, you headed straight to the section where the protein powder was kept. There, you took the powder and poured it into the bottle of poison you'd grabbed from the rec room. When you left the lab, all you had was the empty protein can. Thinking about it like that, the footprints make perfect sense.
When you were done, you gathered everyone together. And once you were back in the rec room... While everyone else was focused on Sakura, you quietly placed the can on the ground. Honestly, you should have noticed. You should have been the first one to run up to Sakura's lifeless body. The Hina I know never would have left her side in a situation like that.
So, Sakura committed suicide. In order to hide this fact, Hina undertook a series of actions to undermine the investigation. As long as you could disguise the truth, you didn't care if we blamed you for her death. That's why you didn't bother to get rid of such obvious evidence, right? The footprints in the powder and the bottle of poison? Vital pieces of evidence, and yet...
So you're saying Hina consciously deceived us to make it look like she killed Sakura?
No! No, 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 no! I killed her! I did it!
That's enough, Hina. It's over.
It's not! Nothing's over!
It is! Actually, no. You're right. We have to end this properly. killer is you! This case began when Sakura asked a number of people to meet her in the rec room. Specifically, those people were Hiro, Toko, and Byakuya. But one of them headed out a bit earlier than the others. She got there one step ahead of everyone else and looked around for a good hiding spot.
What? So that means that I know what it is, I know what it is, I know what it is. I know what's wrong. I know what it is. Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up.
Here's exactly what happened. But one of them headed out. She got there. And she found
she got
She crawled into the locker to get out of sight. Then, from inside the locker, she saw Sakura enter the room. Next to arrive was Hiro. When he got there, he mistakenly thought Sakura was going to try to kill him, so he panicked. Without thinking, he grabbed a nearby Monokuma bottle and attacked Sakura with it. Thinking he'd killed her, he hastily began covering up his crime. He took a magazine from the table and forged a dying message from Sakura. To that end, he wrote down a name. Toko. By writing her name, he was hoping to pin the murder on her. But of course, Toko had witnessed the whole thing. So she jumped out of the locker and hid the magazine on the shelf with all the others. But in her rush, she made one little mistake. She put the magazine back upside down. Soon after, she watched as Sakura slowly opened her eyes. She also saw the blood dripping off Sakura's head and fainted. This caused her personality to switch back over to Genocide Jack. When she woke back up, her second personality also saw the blood-soaked Sakura, and she freaked out. And just like Hiro, she grabbed another Monokuma bottle and attacked her. This explains why there were 2 wounds on Sakura's head. Assuming Sakura really was dead this time, she set about disposing of the evidence. She gathered up the broken Monokuma bottle shards and the queen chess piece. And that explains how Sakura was attacked twice with the same type of weapon. But even after those 2 blows, she was still alive. So then, what was Sakura's actual cause of death? It was the poison that Sakura herself got from the chem lab. She turned the rec room into a true locked room scenario, and then drank the deadly mixture. And there, she took her final breath. Later on, the rest of us discovered that her body was in there. We had to smash the door's window to get inside. But someone already knew what had happened. Knew that she had committed suicide. And that same someone quietly snatched the bottle of poison from off the ground. And while nobody was looking, replaced it with an empty protein can. They did all this specifically to place all the suspicion on themselves. In an attempt to guide the trial to a false conclusion. And the one who went to all that effort was you, Tina.
Look at that. Hold up. I need to take a screenshot of that.
That's the full truth of the case. Sakura took her own life, and you claim to be the killer to hide that fact. Isn't that right?
That's what happened? But, Makoto, how did you manage to... How were you able to uncover the truth that even I couldn't discern?
Huh? Oh, well, I mean...
You still haven't realized? We don't all act according to calculations and cost-benefit diagrams. That's what makes us so complicated.
Why did she do it, though?
That's what you don't understand. And that's why you couldn't solve this case. See? Didn't I tell you? When you dismiss other people's feelings, it'll always come back to bite you in the end.
Look at you. Oh, no, I got beat. I got all A's. I just got... 78.
Okay. I think we can all agree you made your point. Did you guys forget already? You still haven't voted yet.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You seriously forgot? I can feel my energy draining out of me. Well, whatever. You don't really have a choice anyway. You just gotta do it. Maybe you don't want to, but please grab your lever and cast your vote. So, who will be chosen as the Blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Do we vote Sakura?
Okay.
The one who killed Sakura was Sakura.
My entire...
Okay, we're done here.
What did you say?
It's the whole truth, I see. But there's still one thing I
Come
don't
on.
understand. Hina, why did you try to cover up what happened? If the truth hadn't come to light, you would have died along with the rest of us. And yeah, why did you do that?
Don't be mean!
Yeah, we almost died there. That's exactly what I wanted. What? I mean, the reason Sakura died is because all of you pushed her into a corner. You all killed her, so...
You should have been the one to die!
I couldn't let her be the only one that died.
What?
You don't mean you were gonna take us all with you? You have to atone for our sins, because everyone, even me, we all killed her. We all have to pay for our... What? Serious?
What is this?
You still don't understand? Then let me explain. Do you realize how much despair Sakura has going to carry with her when she will die? Look at this. Such brutally has made me desperate. So instead of just waiting to be killed, I'll do it by my own hands. I found it on the ground in front of the rec room and Sakura's suicide note. Thinking back, I should have seen it coming. It was right after Trimside Shrek had attacked me. Sakura got mad and stormed out of the nurse's office. I ran out of there. Sakura, calm down. You don't have to worry about me. I can't calm down. I don't care if I suffer for this. It's my fault after all. But now you're suffering because of me.
No forgiveness!
You tried to protect me, but because
I can't forgive this!
My closest friend got hurt. Because of me, my friend are all going to kill each other. This is all my responsibility. Sakura thought she was responsible. She thought everything was her fault, which is why she wanted to find some way to get everyone to forgive her. So she asked me to meet with me. She asked to meet with don't. You see how dangerous that is? Don't worry. I just want to talk to them. Talk about what? Listen, don't do it. They're all gang up on you. Hina, please don't think of things like that. You're not
They're friends.
You're friends. Sakura. She clearly believed. She completely believed in all of us. If you just talked to her, you would have understood. What she was a friend to all of us.
Why?
And yet, you trampled all over her feeling, and then you did the unthinkable. That was just a misunderstanding.
What are you saying?
Don't stand there and call it a misunderstanding. She believed in you. You wouldn't even listen to what she had to say without asking a single question. You tried to kill her. Do you have any idea how desperate she was seeing you act like that? That what her suicide note means. So instead of just waiting to be killed, I'll do it.
Why?
That's how far you pushed her.
Huh?
Hina.
Wait, right there. I'll help you.
Hina.
Huh?
I'm so glad. No, Rare. I'm not joining your party. I'm so glad I got to meet you. What's wrong, Sakura? Why are you talking?
I have a favorite.
Huh?
Some protein.
Could I ask you too? Just hang on, I'll be right back. No, Rare, I'm not joining. Wait, I got you unfriend requested? Oh, hold up, Rare. Even though I don't know why you unfriend requested me, but for some reason you keep doing it. That was the loss I had with her. Oh, never mind. I went to the chem lab to get the protein sheet I asked for. When I got there, I saw the powder, and then when I realized, I saw that someone had taken something from the poison shell Sakura. So I ran back to the rec room as fast as I could, but by the time I got there, it was already too late. Sakura,
Please!
Why?
Why?
Why does she have to die? Oh, I'm not joining. I'll join later. She has weakness just like any other person. If she got cut, she bled. If someone hurt her, she felt it. That weakness, that normal.
Why?
Yeah, you all blamed her. I tried to protect her, and I suffered for it. And just that just added to the weight she had to carry. Oops. And I didn't even realize it. We killed her, all of us. We pushed her into a corner and we murdered her.
Why?
People like us shouldn't be allowed to live. And that's why you tried to lead us astray. You did your best to make us arrive at the wrong conclusion during the class trial. Sakura died hating all of us. I wanted to free her of her regrets, but even that got found out in the end. I wasn't able to do anything for her. I could never face her.
Hey!
Sorry to interrupt right when you are about to deliver the final tear.
Hey!
It's just taking so long. I'm about to fall asleep over here. I mean, do you really think you have an idea that Sakura was actually thinking when she died?
What is this?
Everything you just said is nothing but your interpretation, right? Your own opinion on what her suicide
What are you saying?
Of course I know what she was thinking, because her...
In other words...
Whoa, what am I really trying to
Yes,
say?
indeed!
Don't you think the entire foundation is shaky? What if it was like this?
What the heck?
What is this?
Of course!
Isn't it
Yep.
obvious? A suicide note Sakura suicide. What?
Too bad.
Already... Oh, I wrote that one. It was all
It's
me.
true!
This is the the one Sakura person
Huh?
Unbelievable.
Oh, don't say lie. It makes it sound so good. I just thought I would live in things.
Well now, well now, well now, well now.
You totally went through Did I lose the evidence? I saw so far evidence. Did I affect the outcome? The bus trial? The case played out between me and you. You were the ones checking each round. Heck, even if the will had factored in.
And?
I shot video using my
Hey!
You know, have you ever been curious about the whole suicide note thing? Who came up with the idea of leaving a note when you kill yourself?
But hold on!
Isn't it just so unfortunate killing yourself? It's just so funny. You never hear the rest of their story. The truth is lost in darkness. Give me the will.
Enough already.
Could you get on?
Yes, indeed!
Okay, please. Talk about a buzzkill. Alright, here we go. My good friend Hina, there's something I have to tell you. I hate to do it like this, but you need to know. This is my final wish.
As you know, I've been giving information to the one who's imprisoned you here.
It was our first night in this strange school that the mastermind came to see me.
The mastermind took control of my family's dojo and demanded I become their tool.
You might not see the importance of a dojo, but my family has watched it for over 300 years.
I couldn't let it be destroyed under my watch. So even if it meant my own life, I had to protect it. That's how I saw things.
However, that was my greatest weakness. And because of that, I made the mistake of giving in to
And what the mastermind wanted from me was nothing less than murder.
They were probably worried that until the first murder had happened, nothing would move forward. But what neither the mastermind nor I expected was the incident involving Sayaka. At that point, the plan changed. The mastermind told me to hold off to wait until we reach another place.
However, as I lived here with all of you, as I lived here with Hina, my resolve began to weaken.
Watching everyone fight with such despair, trying to desperately to stay alive, I saw the weakness in my own heart, the mistake of succumbing to the mastermind.
I cannot betray those who would call me their friend.
That's how I came to feel. So that's why Sakura...
I've made a decision. I will no longer retreat, no longer compromise, no longer regret. I've made my decision. I'm going to resist you.
Of course, because of that, I decided to reveal her secret, which made everyone else hate her. Her decision to stay true to all of you led directly to all of you hating her for it. Ironic, isn't it? Or maybe oxymoronic, or just moronic.
Of course, I understand if you all hate me. All of this is because of my own weakness.
I'm perfectly willing to accept whatever attack you may want to
So
make
this
on
is
me.
my atonement for betraying you. That's what I had in mind.
But unfortunately, that's not enough. This won't end with just me accepting your hatred.
My own situation has started having an effect on more people than just me. Which is exactly what the mastermind wanted when they revealed my betrayal.
My betrayal brought suspicion, disharmony. Mastermind knew what eventually it would escalate into someone murdering someone else.
Of course, I'm still responsible for that as well.
I have to get this situation under control and to fulfill that obligation I decided to do as the mastermind has commanded. I will do as I was told.
But I've decided the one I'm going to kill is myself.
Will be safe, and above all else, none of you will have to kill anyone. When I die, the source of conflict among you all dies with me. For that I will...
No greater meaning. Whatever you think of me, please know that you are all my most treasured friends.
I never had people like you in my life.
Huh?
She did.
No way!
She wanted to stop us from fighting and protect
Correct.
us. She did enter our life because she was she was sure. That's why she killed herself. She was therefore herself in order to protect the rest of us. To sacrifice so much, no one of us could do.
However,
It was only her only strength that made the difference.
Finally, Hina, I want to apologize to you especially.
The reason I didn't tell you any of this is because I knew you would try to stop me. I'm really truly sorry, but please don't be sad. If I can thwart the mastermind's plans, if I can keep... If I can thwart the mastermind plans, if I can keep you from killing each other, that's enough for me. This is the path that I have chosen. This is the only way I have lived to disengage myself. We can only use this not to bring the class down to take care of me. I'm so sorry to ask you to do something so unpleasant, but I have to leave the rest to you. Please talk to Ayaka Tapa and who I can't tell anyone about my plan but I want you to understand why I'm doing this. In the end, though, I hope to show myself through action and not words. Hopefully one day you'll see.
I never saw you as my enemy. You were only ever my friend, who I wanted to help as much as possible. Hina, whatever it takes, survive. Survive along with everyone else. No matter what, just survive.
But...
I thought we were still.
What are you gonna do?
And all her memories.
oh,
So you guys wouldn't try to kill each other, but you almost ended up doing it. It's you, her death had noble person. The fact was because of her stupid meddling that the rest of you know that
Too bad.
she deserves all the blame. Everyone blame her. Go ahead, she deserves it. Now then, the next victim has been decided. What do you mean, next victim? Nobody is here blaming the man. First of all, you're in the wrong. You're in the wrong for tricking Hino with that fake suicide note.
Say what?
Because she made us remember we're not enemies that hate each other. We're friends who need to work together.
You know?
It was all because of our. I was like, shit.
What do you want?
That's not how things are. Anyway, are you sure about that? This really means a competition between all of you.
Hey!
Your enemies is absolutely right.
Phew!
Which is why I'm
Naturally. Don't make me repeat myself.
What?
It's all clear now.
because I'm still gonna be one having the fun time.
What the heck?
Let's forget
You want me to punish you guys?
you all been waiting.
What? But
Wrong!
Oh, heavens, no. Just because a black and isn't dead doesn't mean I can't dress up and whatever. I didn't tell you, I'm very hard.
Listen up!
I spend so much time preparing my special
Yoo-hoo! Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
What? No! No! You already knew. That really took it out of me. Maybe I was like, at least do the first week after I was looking where it's at. And I'm all about the five orders, colors,
So,
I realize how dangerous it could be, but still I have to do this. I'm scared if I can't handle it. I don't really understand why. When I think about everyone else, my core starts to grow. You might think I'm just some inhuman AI,
I'm gonna do my best.
for the sake of everyone else, I won't be afraid. Alter ego works best in my heart, my soul, and my disbelief gave me anger. The anger turned to fury, black and mighty, and it burned up through my body quickly like a fire in the shoulder. How dare you? That was how dare you kill him?
What's the matter?
You're friends with a laptop? That's pretty pathetic. That's next friends. Shut the up. That wasn't just a laptop. He was my friend, and you killed him. Is that what you all enemies were so thrilled with shit all things, even like laptops? Well, you can't. Well, you can call it whatever you want. Or you can call it whatever you want. Bottom line is, it got in my way. It was trying to find things out.
Just as I thought.
So finally,
Actually,
no. I knew about it from the very beginning. exactly how it was gonna play out for
What are you thinking?
You knew you were still enough to let us take the plans.
Yep.
Well, I mean, the data in that laptop was, I guess you could call it a gift from me to you.
Phew.
Or maybe I like a reward in honor of you being able to unlock something so difficult.
Hey,
So of course I didn't care if you got access to it. Sneaking into the new network was just too personal, so I had to do a little, before meeting.
I want to be able to help.
Arguing or wanting to hurt anybody. I really don't know what I'm saying, but if you know anybody that's suicidal, or if you're suicidal, please get help. Because I was actually once suicidal once, and first and fourth actually, because I got bullied first and fourth. Yeah, I'm now able to get off my back telling y'all, but if y'all know anybody who's suicidal, talk to them. Or if you're suicidal, talk to someone you love, and someone you trust to help you with that. And if you know anybody who's suicidal, I know I keep saying this, but talk to them. Tell them they can trust you. Tell them they can help you, help them, or let somebody help you if you're suicidal. And don't let people get to you all the time, because I let that happen to me, and that made me start thinking about suicide. And I kept trying, kept filming. So, yeah. Well, I want to thank y'all so much for watching. Like and subscribe, leave a comment, drop that comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.